Due to illness, it's been a long while since I've been able to invite you into my little art room for much more than rambling health updates. However, on today's programme we'll be doing some fun low pressure drawing, and I will also be taking you to my favourite soft apocalypse beach. You're always welcome here on my channel to take refuge with me in my little hideout from the world, and I hope to see you more regularly again now that my strength improves.
Hello everyone, I always say welcome back to the tiny art room, but I think I'm actually going to title this video like a genuine return to the art room with me, because this kind of feels like a return to scheduled programming a bit, because I'm finally feeling more consistently well, and yeah, the level of improvement I've had over the past couple of weeks has been quite a big step up. I'm still having symptoms, I still get tired, I'm still definitely building my strength up, and I think that's going to take a long time. But yeah, it's been a big change like over the past couple of weeks or so, that I'm really grateful for. And I feel like I can finally get back to my art and my channel and all that kind of thing, but I am still taking it easy. I'm still not able to make really elaborate videos. I would like to, you know, film more variety and things like that to make the videos a bit more like stuff going on, but I'm still not quite there yet. And yeah, even with my art, like actually in the making of this video and drawing and stuff, I realised like I still really want to I want to be in a bit of an experimental phase, which is what I've often done. Like if I've ever had a break for whatever reason, or like when I first decided to make art, like pursue art, sorry, like 5 years ago, like I had periods of time where I really experimented, like tried loads of different things, and I feel like that's the phase I want to be in now. I don't want to rush to like add another project or add another big idea on top of, obviously I also continue with my serial comic Toast in the Machine, so I'm continuing with that, but like as well as that I want to kind of keep my project small and just have fun. So yeah, so basically for this video, like there were 2 times that I went to a place called Lytham St Anne's Pier, where there's like a really nice beach. You know, I say that, but years ago I didn't like it very much, because the thing is it's very flat, right? And it's quite hard to like, I find that quite hard to process sometimes. And I like lived in Falmouth for 3 years, and I've been thinking about this a lot recently. Like I have a lot of regrets around my university time. I really regret like going to university actually, but I'm really trying to like move on from regret. But one thing about Falmouth is it's like a beautiful, amazing, incredible place that I didn't always make the most of. I definitely didn't, because I was just too wrapped up in like really difficult mental things and not knowing I was autistic and really complicated personal issues, and I just didn't get to fully enjoy it, and I'm really sad. And that was a random little side note, but yeah, what I was going to say is that the beaches there are like the most brilliant beaches. Like my favourite kind of beach, where there's just, I don't know, there's stuff going on. It's like there's palm trees. They even have palm trees there. Like what? In England, right? And yeah, so I don't know, sometimes that like I am always like defending the north. I love the north, but like sometimes the northern beaches have been a bit desolate for me. But then in a way I kind of fell in love with how desolate they feel, right? It's kind of like people laugh at me when I talk about the north as being like quite dreary in a good way, but like I honestly think it's true. You have to fall in love with that side of it, otherwise you couldn't stay here. Because it's just like right now it's like February has been like, I mean in England in general there's just been so much rain, but like February is such a rubbish month, and it's just so grey. It gets you down, you know. You have to almost have a side of yourself that is quite, I don't know, okay with that, you know. What was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I went to the St Anne's Pier beach like twice. I went on my birthday and I went with my friends, and I went with my mum and dad just a couple of weeks ago. Somehow a couple of weeks ago it was even colder. But I had a really nice time both times. It was absolutely freezing. incredibly windy, but it was beautiful, and I have definitely seen the beauty in it. And it also kind of reminds me actually of one of my favourite mangas, this, because this is set in like a sort of futuristic, quite isolated, not isolated, what would the word be? Like, there's not a lot of people around, like a really quiet world, so to speak, where there's way less people and things are really quiet and all sorts of things are going on. And some of the landscapes in this, actually, whenever I go to a northern beach, it makes me think of this. Is there a page that would give this as an example? Annoyingly, no. But like, I just mean like in this book, there's a lot of like really open landscapes. This, maybe? Something like that? Oh, it's really bright, it's really bright. Something like this. Do you see what I'm saying? And it kind of reminds me of parts of the north and the UK in general. But yeah, so actually when I'm there, I get quite like a sci-fi feeling. Like it always makes me think of a different planet somehow. And so yeah, I kind of fell in love with that side of it. And yeah, one of the funny things that happened the second time was I had a lot more energy, unbelievably, after I've been so ill. But at one point, like, it's so windy, and my mum gets out, like, she gets a tissue out, which who does that on the windiest beach in Britain? But she gets it out, and then it flies out of her hand. The three of us kind of just stare at this tissue rolling away for a minute, because I'm calculating in my head, like, should I run after this tissue because it seems like it's going really far, but equally I don't want to litter, that seems really bad. Anyway, I go, right, shall I attempt to run after that? So I'm sprinting, well, as much as I could have sprinted in my, like, half illness, but, like, I'm sprinting across the beach, but it's flying so fast, this tissue, like, I can't ever catch up to it. So it's like, as soon as I catch up to it, it flies further away. It's almost like when someone puts, like, a piece of money on a string or something and they're pulling it away from someone. Like, I couldn't catch it. So honestly, and there was a point where I was like, if I go much further, like, I don't know if I've got the strength to get back, because I'm not, like, completely well at this point. Like, I'm gonna struggle to get back because I was tired already. We were actually about to leave. Like, we'd already been walking around for like 40 minutes and I was quite tired already. So then I'd sprinted across the beach and I was like, but I'm gonna have to sprint all the way back as well. There came a point where I just had to give up, because I was honestly like, I felt like I was a mile away, but I was obviously not. But I was just like, I felt like I was really, I basically went like the whole length of the beach. So, sorry. I basically went the whole way back that we'd gone, not the whole length of the beach, because that's like, I don't know, it's probably like 12 miles or something. But anyway, I ran back and I was so exhausted. My dad was filming me and laughing. My friend did say, are you going to get the clip for the video? But I just forgot and I haven't done it. If I find it again, I will maybe try and find it. But, like, if I ask my dad for it, I maybe will put it on. But I don't know how embarrassing it is. People always laugh when I run. People say that I run really, like, comedically, like I just look funny when I run. So I don't know if I want to embarrass myself that much on the internet. But I was like, honestly, I was like proud of myself for trying to get it in a way, but then equally I was like really frustrated that I did all that and then I still had to let it just litter the beach, because I just, honestly, if I get a comment like, you could have just done this, please leave me alone, because I could not have got it, alright? I'm telling you, I was ill, like, I'm still somewhat ill. It was enough that I'd managed to run, but, like, I couldn't calculate some clever way to get this tissue, right? So, I had to give up, okay? But yeah, so I wanted to do some art about it, but I think this is the trouble, right? Like, I think sometimes one of the downsides of being an artist is you feel like you have to make art about, like, almost anything that happens. You go on a nice day out, you have to make art about it. You do this, you have to make art. And really, it should be, like, that you want to make art about things, not that you feel like you have to, and you always have to capture things, and you always have to do things. It's like with my camera, like, sometimes I actually will get so annoyed whenever my mum sometimes, like, if we're out on a really nice walk or something, she'll be like, you should have brought your camera. And I literally, I'm like, don't say that, because it really annoys me. Like, I just feel like not everything is about capturing it all the time. I really like filming, I really like taking photos, I really like documenting things, but like, I also just sometimes want to experience things. I don't always want to feel like it's a loss if I don't capture some nice moment, you know? And I feel like it's such a, like a modern brain process that something happens, and instead of just going, oh, it's really cool that that happened, we have this regret that we didn't somehow capture it and somehow get a captured version of it. Like, I'm like, and I just think to myself, people, like, up until, like, the camera, well, even after the camera was invented, like, until cameras were very common to own, you know, like, and they, you know, and cheap to own, like, we wouldn't have ever thought like that, you know, we would have just been like, you would have gone through your whole life, like, maybe having 1 or 2 photos of your family or of you or whatever. You wouldn't have been constantly like, oh, what a shame I didn't get a video clip of that or a photo of that. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting to capture things. I, myself, obviously do that in, like, many, many ways. And I love it too, but I just don't like when it feels like it invades your entire life, where, like, you feel regretful that you didn't capture something. Because I just think sometimes it's nice just to, like, go, it's enough that I'm seeing it. It's enough that I'm feeling it or experiencing it or whatever, you know. And sometimes it's disappointing, like when I'm out on walks, like I've seen deer quite a lot of times, and like I remember again, we were out on a walk once, my mum was like, get your camera, get your camera, get your camera, and honestly it ruined the moment. Like I was like, Mum, you shouting in my ear, me trying to get this, and like I got a rubbish, like blurry video of a deer, and I was like, well, great. What use is that? Like, you know, I don't know. It's not like I'm a nature photographer who was able to, like, get out my amazing camera and capture a really beautiful moment. It was only my phone anyway. So, I don't know, you know? I think it's one of those things, you should have times where you're intentionally, I'm going out to film, I'm going out to do things, I want to make art. I want to make art about this thing, but you shouldn't feel like everything has to be documented all the time. I apologise that I feel like I'm still a bit scattered with the way I'm talking. I don't know if this is just my personality now or it's still that my brain is a bit slow. I think, like, to be fair, like yesterday I had this full day of drawing, which I've not had many full days in a long time, and so I'm feeling quite tired. Like, I feel okay, I don't feel ill or anything, I just feel quite sleepy, so I feel like but I really wanted to make the video because I want to try and be a bit more consistent with videos, and I kind of wanted to be like, okay, sometimes I kind of want to complete something. Like if I'm in the mindset of like, okay, I'm making that video, I kind of want to like go, okay, I've done it and move on, rather than it like take another week or so. But yeah, so yesterday, like, I came into the office, and actually I said on my Instagram, actually, like, it was interesting, like, when I wanted to come in and work, and I felt like I was feeling quite apprehensive about it. And then actually when I got in here, like, I had a bit of a panic attack. And I feel like people think panic attacks are always like hyperventilating, but they're not necessarily always like that. Like, for me, what happens is often I just feel like I can't breathe. Like, I'm not necessarily fully hyperventilating, but it's like I can't get a breath. And then my heart was like really racing, like pounding. Anyway, I decided to like sit at my desk and do the meditation that I often do, which I mentioned last time. It's like this somatic tracking meditation. And I did that for like 10 minutes, and that helped me calm down a bit. And I managed to like calm down and feel a bit more calm. And then I actually put on ASMR for like the whole day to draw with, so that I had like a calming thing in the background. So I just had that like rolling through all day. And yeah, I was really pleased with myself that I kind of didn't avoid it, and I decided to try and process it. Now, if it had failed, then I'd have still felt really terrible. I don't think it's good to like beat yourself up and be like, I shouldn't have, I failed. Even the word failed, actually, that I just said, it shouldn't feel like a failure. It should just feel like, okay, today it's not working, and that's okay. But I am proud of myself that I kind of stayed in the room. And yeah, it's kind of, I could like think to myself, oh, it's really sad that a place that is so like a solace to me became a place of fear. But I think constantly overthinking things like that and putting those negativity emotion things, it isn't always helpful, because I think it was just a natural response. Like, actually someone messaged me and I think they were really right that it was the classic like fight or flight thing, because like over this time I found drawing really hard with my symptoms. I think I now understand it was partly to do with like my balance issues. I think that my brain was still recovering from the balance problems and it was struggling with visual information. So I would get very tired really quickly. I would start feeling sick. I would start almost like I had a hangover or something. I would feel really like, I don't know how to explain it, almost like I was in a sauna. Like, it was just really, really hard. And yeah, so I started like, I think feeling quite panicked about, will I ever feel okay to make art again? Or will I always feel those like crushing symptoms anytime I try and make art? But then over time, like recently, a lot of those crushing symptoms have dialed down a bit. So I wanted to try and draw again, but the fear's still there that you are going to feel that way. And also, what does that then mean? Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna, I can't be an artist. You know, it starts like getting out of control, the fear. So I think there obviously is an emotional element to this whole thing. Like, it does, you know, your brain, it's like in general, like way before this happened, my therapist talked to me about like how, like, I'm the sort of person, he says, you know, like my brain, I have been in places where I've really struggled to cope, like with things mentally. So he always talks about how like I'm someone who worries I can't cope with things, and my brain is trying to protect me from scenarios that have happened in the past, or that, you know, that I think could happen, where I just feel like I'm like not able to deal with it, I can't cope with it. And sometimes your brain wants to protect you. I think that's something that's really at the heart of anxiety a lot of the time. Your brain is obsessed with protecting you from pain and from difficult things, and it can really, really affect your life, the way that it will try and protect you all the time. And yeah, I think this was an example, like with this physical health stuff, it's like my brain is trying to protect me from feeling the not very nice physical symptoms, even if those physical symptoms actually might have calmed down a bit now. So it's just getting my brain on board, really, which is what the meditation's been really good for. So yeah, just sharing that for transparency, and because I'm an oversharer. I mean, what YouTuber isn't an oversharer, to be honest? So yeah, I decided with my drawing, like, to just play around with this little idea I had. But you know what, as I was drawing it, I was like, I don't want to get locked into any kind of longer term project, I feel, at the moment. So I played around with it, but I actually don't know what I'm going to do with it, whether I'm going to do anything with it, like even share it much, because I think I just want to be in an experimental phase. And I was thinking, actually, next video I'm going to make a zine, but I'm going to get onto that in a minute. But the thing I did was, I wanted to, like, I had this vague idea of like sometimes doing autobiographical short comics, but with a character that was like an anthropomorphized version of my childhood pet rabbit, Barnaby, who was a lion's head rabbit, which basically means he has loads of hair like round his face and around his ears and stuff, like a lion. It's just great how the world works, isn't it? But yeah, and that's what this idea was, really. Like, I played around with drawing Barnaby at the beach, with me at the beach, in front of like a landscape. This was the main one I did, where I drew like a landscape and I drew Barnaby in it. I'll probably show some process video now. I didn't do the process of that one, actually, because I just got tired of filming and I was over it. But yeah, and the idea was, it was Barnaby shows off carrot-shaped piece of driftwood he found at St. Anne's Beach. I think it's a cute idea. I just don't know if I want to like start it right now, and then have the pressure to like continue making short autobiographical comics, or whether I just want to do short things. I feel like I'm in the mood to like just experiment, as I say. I think I want to make a zine because every time I've been in these phases of like wanting to do something small, wanting to do something for a break, a zine has always been a thing I've made, and they do really well. Like, people seem to really like them. I also think they work really well with me because I like the freedom of a zine, and also the fact that they're low pressure. They're like a perfect combination of, you can do anything with them, but also you kind of hold yourself back from making it a massive project, and people don't expect that. They don't expect to buy a zine and it be 100 pages long. You know, they don't expect that from you. They don't want like a novel. They don't need an 80-page comic. They just expect it to be a short thing about something, you know, and it could have 3,000 words in it, or it could have, like my pajama zine, it could have like next to no words in it. It could be just art, you know, and people, they it's kind of like, as a creator and as the person who might buy a zine, I feel like there's a good understanding of like, a zine can be anything, and it's a small project. It's not something that's going to be massive, and I think that really works with me, and my like desire to make quite narrative work, and things like that. So I actually think what I'm going to do is go through my book where I wrote down a lot of ideas, and then I'm going to simplify down the themes, and I'm going to actually use my jar of destiny to kind of decide which ones I'm going to do first, because this has always helped me to stop with my like doubting and decision making. And actually almost every zine I've made has been because of this jar, just combining words and stuff. So I think that's my plan. And yeah, I also just enjoyed doing some other little bits of drawing. I had to play around with some new coloured pencils I got. The Faber-Castell Polychromos. This is actually the first time I've ever bought like a set of fancy pencils like this. Let's have a look. Wow. Because, you know me, I'm usually just a pencil person. I don't always use colour that much, but I was thinking how in the spring and summer I'd really like to go out and draw more, and I'd quite like to have some colour at hand. I don't always want to work in pencil all the time. So I just thought it would be a fun way to do it, and actually I've really enjoyed them so far. They're a really nice like softness of colour pencil. The other ones I've had in the past are these Derwent Colour Soft, and they are a bit too soft for me. Like, I really like them, but I prefer the Polychromos, and to be fair, there is soft in the title, so they are meant to be soft, so that's fine, but I just don't prefer them as much. Yeah, I think that's about it. I just wanted to show you some clips from the beach. I wanted to show you how I played around with a bit of an idea, and just make a video. Like I say, a part of me was like, right, so now I'm gonna have another day where I draw more of the beach, and then I was like, why? Because I don't have to. Like, I don't have to force myself to draw things about the beach just because I was there. And you know what? Like, I'm not very good at landscapes. That's part of the reason I want to go out more and give it a go, because it's an area of art that I don't usually put much time into. But I find landscape stuff hard, and I'm not always as interested in it, depending on what it is. But I love going out and like looking at details, and I want to get more into it. But the beach, you know, it's not like a thing that I would naturally go and draw. Like, I would find it hard. So yeah. I don't want to force myself to make art about it for the sake of it. I want to allow experimentation to happen. I want to allow my creativity to grow again, because I feel like, obviously, like, this long period of time, it's put me on hold a lot. And as well, I feel like, kind of, you know, they say you can't pour from an empty cup. I feel like my cup's still pretty empty, because I'm only just like recovering, and I haven't really had, like, my life's been very, very repetitive for a long time, and I haven't really had much to like fill the cup with. I have definitely had some things, some really nice times, but like I'm still needing some like inspiration. I feel, I don't know what the word is, but like, I just yeah. It's like hard to, you know, be really creative right now when you're still quite, like, I don't know what the word is, but you know what I mean. I'm sure you all know what I mean, because you always do. And yeah, just in general, thank you so much for your support of my channel and your comments on my videos. I'm always like, it's like the last video was really just me ranting about illness and stuff, but you all like really resonated, and that's part of the reason why I talk about mental health and stuff. Like, I feel like often I'm like, oh, here you go, narcissist, at myself. Like, I feel like a narcissist, just like talking about myself all the time. But then people actually go, this really made me think of this part of my life, or I felt really comforted by this, and I think, oh, well, good, you know. Well, not good, because I don't want people. I said to my mum, I almost feel like saying, I'm really sorry that you relate to my videos. I'm really sorry that you relate when I'm talking about these really awful times. But yeah, like, I am glad that people get comfort from it, and yeah, really grateful that people feel that way. So that's why I continue to talk about it and put it into my work, and that's something that is definitely going to be my priority going forward. But I feel like I just need strength to build in every way. My mind, body and soul needs some strength building before I'm going to get to like my best work, I feel. So I'm just taking my time. So I drew a cute rabbit at the beach, but I don't know if that's really going to become anything, or whether it's just a nice little drawing that I did for that day, and that's all it has to be. And I think that's fine, and I think that's that for the beach for now. And I do just want to read something. I'm going to play some more clips and just read like a little bit of writing that I did reflecting on how I felt at the beach. And that will end the video. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you will come back again, and thank you so much for your support and your patience. And I will be opening my shop again soon as well, and I am hoping to open it back up to the US too, but it will be on the understanding that you may get customs fees, I'm afraid. But yeah, all that will be updated soon. I just kind of want to maybe make some new thank you cards and stuff before I open it again, like take the opportunity to get on top of that. And then hopefully I'll be back online. So yeah, thanks so much. And now a final little story. So what is it? Gather round. Okay. It had a feel of a distant planet, empty and never-ending. The sand drifting across the ground like sentient dust, about to gather itself together into some kind of being that would tower over us and decide whether to let us go on our way or eat us for its breakfast. The arcades felt like they should be abandoned, coin slot machines filled with shells, seaweed covering the floor. Maybe we'd find some ancient sticks of rock in a rotten cardboard box in a shop with a smiling fish caked in dust. I imagined us as people not living in 2026, but like characters from my sci-fi comics, in a time like 2426. Would we search the beach with metal detectors and find an old grommet earring like the one I was gifted by my dad, and think it the most amazing treasure? Would we find the debris of a crashed space vehicle, left to rot after being dragged down from the stars? Would we wonder where our place in all of it was, what we could learn from the past and will into the future? Would we be taken over by the vastness of it all, wondering if this wind was strong enough to lift us up and carry us onwards and into another universe?